A lot crime alert today. Several suspected gang members are now in jail. VSO saying that they are all connected to multiple shootings and murders all across South Florida. Local 10 Sinella Sabovic joining us live now from Fort Lauderdale with more on the joint operation that led to those arrests. Sinella.
Well, Calvin, this was a months-long investigation. BSO detectives say not only are these 8 gang members extremely violent, but they went on a 3-year killing spree, murdering 8 people in total. The Broward Sheriff's Office making a big bust, arresting 8 people they say are violent gang members and responsible for 8 murders in Broward County. Gerard Charles, Sigmund Brown, Vondarius Davis, Kavaris Johnson, Raja Roll, who is only 16 years old, Jared McCabe, Trayvon Key, and Tyreek Jackson have been indicted on charges that include murder, attempted murder, and racketeering. The operation was a multi-agency effort and began in January when one of the suspects, Sigmund Brown's fingerprint, was recovered from a car connected to the murder of 17-year-old Terrence Farrington Jr. The Pompano Beach teen who played football was fatally shot outside a Plantation Best Buy.
He was that loving student, that student that has so much energy.
Detectives not only charged Brown with Farrington's murder, but also charged Johnson and Charles. From there, investigators were able to solve other homicides. Some of the gang members they say are responsible for more than 1 murder. Johnson was also charged with killing Terry McKenzie and Bernaldo Donner. They were shot near I-95 in Fort Lauderdale. Authorities linked Trayvon Key to Wisdom Williams' murder. His body was found in Hallandale Beach 3 years ago. He was also arrested in Dorothy Smart's murder. She was found deceased inside a van in Fort Lauderdale. Brown and Charles were also arrested in this case. The only minor arrested, Raja Roll, was linked to 17-year-old Johnny Henderson's homicide. He was killed while he was in a car at a traffic light in Miramar. Detectives say Kavaris Johnson was also involved in this crime. Other victims include Antoine Dobard and Wayne Smith. All defendants were scheduled to make an appearance for an arraignment hearing. Only 5 showed up, 2 were reset for Friday, and 1 refused to appear before a judge. And all those defendants that did appear in court this morning entered a plea of not guilty. Also important to note that these 8 gang members, detectives say, are also responsible for more than a dozen attempted murders. That is the latest. Reporting live out of Fort Lauderdale this evening, Sinella Sabovic, Local 10 News.
Ruthless. Thanks a lot.
You from Hot Block? You sure?
I'm positive.
What you got on you?
Huh?
Don't move. Come out.
Hey,
check it out. Come out. Come out. Come out. Don't come back right here. That's how we hit y'all block. On Miles, you come outside getting that ass baked. How y'all coming? Button on you. Come out, check it out, Dad. On Miles, you come out, that's how we hit y'all shit. This how y'all supposed to hit our shit, you know? One of these little old crib on Miles, come outside, get your ass dropped. Shoot out the window, get your ass dropped. At it. Back at it. Hey, we ain't on phone number, Preston. We ain't on phone number, Preston. Hey, look, we just gonna terrorize the whole city. We making our way around. We making our way around. Fuck your ring camera too. Fuck your ring camera too. Got big hog, know what we do. We on press.
Praise to the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, by Shem Rakak Wadash, and double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching this truth that's going all around the earth. And shalom to the hopeful elect. All right, this is your brother Atazawan from the Great Millstone here in St. Louis. And we're going to go into a quick lesson, all right, concerning the clip that we saw with all of these young Jakes. I don't know, maybe both stories were in Florida. I don't know. I know the second video clip, I'm not real sure where that's from. But in any event, when I saw that, you know, I thought about a few scriptures, you know, that talk about obviously the 2/3, all right, and how when the Lord returns, you know, Yahweh Shai returns, you know, and ultimately when we get back in our land, the Lord is going to take us back. But these rebel people, right, they're going to be destroyed, right? The Lord said he's going to purge them out. And we'll read that scripture, okay? And there are a lot of people out there who will say, well, these are just young kids or this or that. No, they're old enough to, display all types of weapons and to go out there and commit murder, all right, if that's what they're doing, or committing crimes, whatever they may be, all right. The Lord is not going to hold them not guilty, all right. They're guilty, and first and foremost, of course, they're terrorizing their own people, okay. They're targeting their own people. And these are nothing but active demons that are within the realm of the earth, all right. And the Lord has put them in the earth to get their judgment, okay. And so with that, we have to understand that the prophecies are speaking still yet again, because the Bible in and of itself is a book of prophecy. And it's the prophecy of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, and all those things that are contained within the Bible. Many of them have come to pass, and there's still some yet to come to pass, okay? And the destruction is going to go on as prophesied, and we always talk about that. But at the same time, of course, there's going to be deliverance for the elect of the Lord. All right, but this particular lesson is pretty much going to focus in on the wickedness of our people, particularly these young men, right? All right, who are doing nothing but going throughout the earth, wreaking havoc. Okay, all right. I guess in their own neighborhoods or what have you, okay, as they stated in the news clip, gang violence and so on, all right? So that's the premise of the lesson, okay? We'll just jump right into it. I'm not going to make it extremely long. Part of what the prophecy is, it talks about Jacob's trouble, right? And that's what Jacob's trouble is all about, okay? Destroying the wicked of our own people, those that refuse to repent to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, okay, all right, and those that are just really they're just slated for the slaughter, all right. That's their whole purpose, in a nutshell, okay. So let's get to it. This is Jeremiah. We'll just let's see here, Salakia. You know what? Yeah, we just started at the top. Jeremiah 30:1, it reads, the word that came to Jeremiah from the Lord, saying, thus speaketh the Lord, power of Israel, saying, write thee all the words that I have spoken unto thee in a book. For lo, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will bring again the captivity of my people, Israel and Judah, saith the Lord, and I will cause them to return to the land that I gave to their fathers, and they shall possess it. And these are the words that the Lord Yahweh spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah. For thus saith the Lord, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Ask ye now and see whether a man doeth travail with child. Whether do I see every man with his hand on his loins as a woman in travail. And all faces are turned into paleness. Alas, for that day is great. What day is that? So that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. And that's what you hear us talk about all the time. And you can see the handwriting on the wall, okay, if you will, all right, that we're coming into some very ruthless, perilous times where the majority of Jake has lost all hope, all right? And so these demons are on these people to go out here and commit all types of heinous crimes, all right? Going on in verse 7, it says, but he shall be saved out of it, right? The elect of the Lord will be saved out of it. So if there's an elect of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai that will be saved, that remnant, then what's going to happen to the others? They're doomed for destruction, all right? As the Lord had already planned it. He had planned it this way already, you see? So it's not happening by accident, okay? Another way of saying it is the elect of the Lord are already predestined to be delivered, right? and the other 2/3 of Israel are predestined for destruction, and there's no getting around it. Okay. Verse 8, for it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck and burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves to him. All right. And we stop right there because the point was really in verse 7. Okay. So that time of trouble, Jacob's trouble. Okay. All right. Because our people have always been a rebellious people. Okay. When it comes to serving Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, they want to do things their way, right? They get in tune with the wickedness of the nations that are around them, okay? And they begin to do all the things that the other nation people do. All right, so this is Ezekiel 20 and 33. It reads, as I live, saith the Lord, power surely with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm, and with fury poured out will I rule over you. You see, so the Lord has what? Fury, and he's going to pour it out, okay, on these wicked 2/3 and rebels, all right, that are of the nation, okay. Verse 34, and I will bring you out from the people and will gather you out of the countries wherein ye were scattered with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out. I will bring you into the wilderness of the people, and there will I plead with you face to face, like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Egypt. So will I plead with you, saith the Lord power. You can go back and read this story, okay? We're not going to do it here, but you can read the story of the rebellion, right, of the children of Israel when Moses was dealing with them. And eventually the Lord opened up the earth and had the earth swallow them up, you see, for being rebellious, okay? Verse 37, and I will cause you to pass under the rod, and I will bring you into the bond of the covenant. Right, he's going to force you to do what you're supposed to do. All right, in a day, right, in a particular day, that day when we get to the land. All right. Verse 38, and I will purge out from among you the rebels. You see, and so what you're seeing, just like in that news clip, these are rebels that are within our nation, that are going around committing murder, okay? As they said in the news clip, okay? And them that transgress against me, and I will bring them forth out of the country where they sojourn, and they shall not enter into the land of Israel. And ye know that, Salaki, and ye shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh. As for you, O house of Israel, thus saith the Lord power, go ye, serve ye every one his idol, and hereafter also, if you will not hearken unto me. But pollute ye my holy name no more with your gifts and with your idols, right? So Israel has always gone into idolatry, right? And even during this particular time with Ezekiel, they would go into idolatry and then try to, pour out their I guess you would say their drink offerings or what have you to their idols, right? And not serve Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, all right? And we always tell you about what? Reincarnation. So these same wicked spirits have come back because they're going to get their ultimate judgment, all right? Once we put it in today's context, okay? Verse 40, for in mine holy mountain, in the mountain of the height of Israel, saith the Lord power, there shall all the house of Israel, all of them in the land serve me. There will I accept them, and there will I require your offerings and the first fruits of your oblations and with your holy things. I will accept you with your sweet savor when I bring you out from the people and gather you out of the countries whither you have been scattered, and I will be sanctified in you before the heathen. And ye shall know that I am the Lord when I shall bring you into the land of Israel, into the country for the which I have lifted up my hand to give to your forefathers. And there shall ye remember your ways and all your doings, where ye have been defiled. And ye shall loathe yourselves in your own sight for all your evils that ye have committed, right? You're going to remember all the wickedness, all right, that they did. Okay. Once the kingdom is set up in deliverance and then the kingdom being set up, okay, these same wicked people will remember their ways, right? And ye shall know that I am the Lord when I have wrought with you for my name's sake, not according to your wicked ways, nor according to your corrupt doings, O ye house of Israel, said the Lord power. All right, so they're going to remember all the wickedness that they did. Okay, but they're going to have to go through these great, terrible times, all right, and get their judgment. This is Zechariah 13 and 8. And it reads, and it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord Yahweh, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. Right? That's the Lord's predestinated, right? From all across the earth, as the other scripture said, where we were all scattered into these other lands. You see? Zechariah 13 and 9 now. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord Yahweh, by Shem Yahushua is my power. All right, so the 1/3 will be brought through the tough time, right? That day of alas, right? That terrible day, the days of Jacob's trouble. But the Lord said Jacob will be saved out of it. That's his elect. Okay. Now, and boys went into talking about all the things that they want to do with their pieces of iron, their choppers, and all of this and that. Okay. Here in the scriptures as Israelites, right? We have what? Within the 10 Commandments, it says, thou shalt not kill. All right. Which really goes into murder. Not kill, because you can sometimes have a righteous situation where you have to protect yourself or your family or what have you, where you may have to put somebody to death, okay, in righteousness, all right. And the Hebrew word right there, I believe, is ratazach, okay, which when you well, let's see here. Let's go into it. It'll say, it says dash to pieces. A human being, especially, but right there, especially murder. All right, so it really should read, thou shalt not murder. Okay. Let me see. Here it says, see, to murder, slay, all right? And it's premeditated. That's the number one situation where you plot against somebody to do something, right? To take their life. That's murder, all right? And you're not allowed to do that, okay? Now, let's see here. What else we got? This Lamentation 4:1. Because our people have just become so cruel, man, and particularly the men, all right, these young men with no guidance. And this is what you get, when you have 2 generations, if you will, that are single parent, and the parent is a woman, all right, because a woman can't teach a young boy how to be a man, okay. The father has to be active in a young man's life, right, to get that guidance. Okay. This Lamentation 4:1, it reads, how is the gold become dim? How is the most fine gold changed? The stones of the sanctuary are poured out in the top of every street. The precious sons of Zion, comparable to fine gold. See, it's talking about the men. Okay. How are they esteemed the earthen pitchers, the work of the hands of potter? Right. How have you become so precious, so glorious, right? And then all of a sudden now you nothing but like instead of a golden vessel, let's say, now you just a vessel of clay that's just all broken in pieces, okay, worth nothing, okay. Verse 3, even the sea monsters draw out their breasts, they give suck to their young ones. The daughter of my people is become cruel like the ostrich in the wilderness. Right? And sometimes when you read the scriptures, if it says daughter, it's more like to the men of the nation, right? But daughters, let's say of Zion, then it's, obviously referring to women. All right. Verse 4, the tongue of the suckling child cleaveth to the roof of his mouth for thirst. The young child asks for bread, and no man breaketh it unto him. Okay. They that did feed delicately and desolate in the streets, are desolate in the streets, Salakia. They that were brought up in scarlet embraced dunghills. All right, so you went from a glorious people, right, to just being niggas, for lack of a better way of saying it, to being just ruthless, as that man said, the anchor said at the end of the news piece, right? Just said ruthless. Okay. For the punishment of the iniquity of the daughter of my people is greater than the punishment of sin of Sodom, that was overthrown as in a moment, and no hand stayed on her, right? Nobody helped it, right? Her Nazarites were purer than snow. They were whiter than milk. They were more ruddy in body than rubies. Their polishing was as sapphire, right? We were a great royal people. And now look at the generations of young men that you have, if you want to call them young men. Look at them. Look at what they're doing. Look how they're out here as wild animals. Okay. Now, matter of fact, let's go back and let's read it let's look at it in the NIV. See how it reads. All right, starting at the top again, it says, how the gold has lost its luster, the fine gold become dull. The sacred gems are scattered at every street corner. How the precious children of Zion, once worth their weight in gold, are now considered as pots of clay, the work of a potter's hands. Even jackals offer their breasts to nurse their young, but my people have become heartless like ostriches in the desert. Yeah. See, and that's how these young boys are running the street now, because they have no guidance, right? There's no programs for them to be in to keep, as the old people used to say, an idle mind is a devil's workshop. Okay? There's nothing to hold their attention. Okay? And they watch all these video games with nothing but violence in them. Okay? And next thing you know, they out there wanting to do what they do in the video game. All right? Verse 4, because of the thirst of the infant's tongue sticks to the roof of its mouth, the children beg for bread, but no one gives it to them. You see? Those who once ate delicacies are destitute in the streets. Those brought up in royal purple now lie on ash heaps. All right? So we dropped and fell to a very, very low estate. See? All right? Let's go over here to 2nd Ezra chapter 5, and let's see, I want to go to, bear with me just a second, Salakia. I want to jump in. Let's just jump in at the top. Let's just start at the top. 2nd Ezra 5:1, it reads, nevertheless, as coming the tokens, behold, the day shall come that they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in a great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith. But iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest, or that thou has heard long ago. Right, this place is probably worse than any other time period for the Israelites, right? All across the board, all right? Verse 3, in the land that thou seest now to have root, shalt thou see wasted suddenly. Okay, and that's when this devil gets out here, all right, Esau, Edom, and brings martial law, and all these different things are going to happen. Hey, that's what we keep telling you about, Jacob's trouble. And it's going to be for Jacob. Okay. Verse 4, but if the Most High grant thee to live, thou shalt see after the third trump that the sun shall suddenly shine again in the night, and the moon thrice in the day. The blood shall drop out of the wood, and the stone shall give a voice, and the people shall be troubled. See, all kind of signs, all right, that this is a terrible, terrible day. Okay. Verse 6, and even he shall rule whom they look not for that dwell upon the earth, and the fowls shall take their flight away together, and the sodomish sea shall cast out fish, and make a noise in the night, which many have not known, but they shall all hear the voice thereof. There shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be offsent again, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and what? And menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. You see, so that's what you're seeing now. Women have given birth to monsters, okay, in the earth. Okay, and so the prophecies are real. Okay, now we're going to jump over here and read it in the GNT. All right, same verses, 2nd Ezra 5. It reads, but these are the signs. The time will come when all people on earth will be in the grip of great confusion. And you're starting to see that now. Okay. The way of truth will be hidden, and no faith will be left in the land. Wickedness will increase until it has become worse than ever. So like it worse than you have ever known it to be. The country that you now see ruling the world will lie in ruins with no inhabitants or travelers there. After that, if the Most High lets you live long enough, you will see that country in confusion. And you see in it, America is in great confusion. Babylon the Great, that's what Babylon means, confusion. The sun will suddenly start shining at night and the moon in the daytime, right? And really, you know, people think it's an anomaly, but, you know, you see the moon and the sun at the same time now, right? In the course of a day. Okay, sometimes you can look to the east and see the sun, but if you look to the west, you can still see the faint shape of the moon. Okay, blood will drip from trees, stones will speak, nations will be in confusion, the movement of the stars will be changed. Right, those signs in heaven. A king unwanted by anyone will begin to rule, and the birds will fly away. Fish will be washed up on the shores of the Dead Sea, not just in the Dead Sea, which I think they had that happen some years ago. All right, where they were talking about how there's nothing in the Dead Sea, like all the fish that were once there, they're not there anymore. Okay, the voice of one whom many do not know will be heard at night. Everyone will hear it. The earth will break open in many places and begin sprouting up flames. Wild animals will leave the fields and forests. In their monthly periods, women will bear monsters, right? We bring forth these badass demon kids, you see? Let's go over here to Revelation 19, and we'll read this, because as we preach this gospel of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, you know, you have to know that it is in the scriptures. This is the last book, right, of the Bible, that tells you that the prophecies are about Yahweh Shai. Okay, all right, and so these prophecies are going to come to pass. Now, as always, people say, well, they've been saying that for many, many years, but now you should be able to see it. Okay, all right, if the Lord has given you the eye salve to see. Okay, this Revelation 19:7 says, let us be glad and rejoice and give honor to him, for the marriage of the Lamb is come, and his wife have made herself ready. Who's the wife? Okay, the wife is the elect of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Those of us now who are in this truth, okay, who are reading, who are studying, who are praying, who are asking for mercy, right? Okay, doing the things that we know we're supposed to do according to the scriptures to the best of our abilities. All right. Okay. That is the wife. Okay. Not everybody, not all nations, right? Not even everybody in the nation of Israel. We just read about the 2/3, right? And you're seeing the demonic activities, right, of these 2/3 men, young men, old men, right? It just so happens these two news reports or clips, rather, are dealing with how the young men are acting. Okay? Verse 8, and to her was granted that she should be arrayed in fine linen, clean and white, for the fine linen is the righteousness of the saints, right? Okay, verse 9, and he said unto me, right, blessed are they which are called unto the marriage supper of the Lamb. And he saith unto me, these are the true sayings of Yahweh. And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant, right, the angel, and of thy brethren that have the testimony, right, of Yahweh Shai. Worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy, right? So the scriptures concerning Yahweh Shai, right, ruling upon the earth, right, and the elect ruling and reigning with him, right? But all these other things are part of the prophecies, and they all have to come to pass, right? This is 2nd Ezra chapter 9. I think we're going to start at the top here as well, and then we'll finish it up. So this reads as verse 1, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and then thou see part of the signs past, which I have told thee before. Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes, uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For it is all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, right? And the end of this man's kingdom is manifesting itself, right? That man being Esau, Edom, right? The devil of the earth, okay? His kingdom is ending, and the kingdom of Jacob is on its way, all right? Verse 6, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works and endings and effects and signs, and everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, right? Because you can't do this without faith. Without faith, you can't please the Lord. Whereby ye have believed, right? So you have to believe these prophecies are true, okay? And what you're seeing is actually what's already prophesied. Okay, and you have to believe these scriptures. Verse 9, then shall there be a pitiful case which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. For such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me. And that's many, many, many Israelites. All right, you receive benefits from Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, and you don't even acknowledge his name. Okay. And they that have loathed my law, while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it, right? And so the men of the Lord have been preaching to you all on the highways and hedges, all right, through these videos on YouTube and other platforms, right? To tell you to get yourself in order and to repent, okay? But you don't want to hear the names of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. You want to hear those worldly names, right? Those incorrect names. You want to continue worshiping your idols and so on. Okay? The same must know it after death by pain. Yeah, you realize that those are the real names, okay? After you go through your death with pain, when those nuclear missiles and the chariots show up and start blazing with lasers and fire and smoke, and ash, that's when you're going to realize. Okay? Going on to verse 13, it says, and therefore be thou not curious how the ungodly shall be punished and when, but inquire how the righteous shall be saved, whose the world is and for whom the world is created. Right? So many people, get in their feelings about many of the lessons that are put up by the brotherhood because they say we too harsh, right? Or they don't like the way that we speak, or they don't like the sternness that comes out of our voice, okay, when they see us on the street. They figure we could catch or more flies with honey than we can with vinegar. They got all these little smart aleck things to say about us, but the point of the matter is we're preaching the gospel of the Lord and being straightforward with it, just as the scriptures are. The scriptures are straightforward, okay? But our people love a soft answer. They love a soft word, you see? And ultimately, the scriptures is only for who is for, okay? Verse 14, then answered I and said, I have said before and now do speak and will speak it also hereafter, that there be many more of them which perish than them that shall be saved. See, so 2/3 is always a bigger number than 1/3. All right, so it's going to be twice as many, okay, that get destroyed. Okay, verse 16, like as a wave is greater than a drop. And he answered me, saying, like as the field is, so is also the seed, as the flowers be, such are the colors also, such as the workman is, such also is the work. And as the husbandman is himself, so is his husbandry also. For it was the time of the world, and now when I prepare the world, which was not yet made, even for them to dwell in that now live, no man spake against me. For then everyone obeyed, but now the manners of them which are created in this world that is made are corrupted by perpetual seed, and by a law which is unsearchable rid themselves. So I considered the world, and behold, there was peril because of the devices that were come into it. And I saw and spared it greatly, and have kept me a grape of the cluster, and a plant of a great people. Right? So the Lord has picked the ones that he wants and have saved them already from the very beginning. Okay. He has a certain cluster of grapes all to himself. All right. Verse 22, let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain. And that's these little wild niggas that you see, toting guns, threatening people, okay, doing all the things that they do. All right. Going through the streets, just spraying up cars, don't care who they hit. All right. So they're born in vain, right? They'll get to know the Lord after death by pain. Going on to verse 22, and we'll stop right there. And let my grape be kept and my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect, right? So the Lord has his special people, all right, his own cluster that he's going to save. And as it says in the scriptures, let the multitude perish that was born in vain. That's it for the lesson. We'll end it right there. All praise to the Most High, Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. Shalom.